Hey guys, it's Mr. Hing here. I hope you are all so well, especially coming to the end of the year and preparing for your November, December examinations. I hope your year has been so well. I hope you have been so safe and yeah, just well health-wise. Um, so why don't we jump right in? Today's video is based on integers. Guys, this will be applicable to grade 8s and 9s, mostly for grade 8s because I'm dealing with some of the basics in integers, so it won't get too hectic, but I just wanted to try and lay a foundation in order for you to be able to answer many questions so that you can apply the concepts just in case you have gotten a bit lost in class, whichever school you're at. So why don't we jump right in, guys? Okay, so firstly, guys, with integers, what happens is that they like to ask in your questions, they will always put, like, not always, but they like to put a sum where there is a positive number, right? And then it could be times with a negative number, and then you need to know what that outcome is. So just remember that when you see a positive number times a negative number, it will equal a negative number. Okay, and then when there's a negative number times a negative number, negative and a negative, it will form and result in a positive number, and a positive times a positive number is equal to a positive number. So can I quickly give you, I wasn't planning on doing this, but just a quick example. If I have negative 10 times by negative 10, what will that equal? A negative times a negative will give me a positive 100. So in the actual test, you don't need to write that plus sign. Your final answer is just 100, and that implies that it is positive. Okay, so a very important part about this, guys, is I have put that over here, and that is that this only happens, guys, when we are multiplying. This rule only applies when we are multiplying. Okay, so there's three important points that I just wanted to highlight before we get stuck in, and that is BODMAS rules apply to integers. Please remember your BODMAS rules. B stands for brackets. You do that first if brackets is in the sum. If there's an of, then you do that next. If there's division, you do that next. M stands for multiplication. A is addition and S is subtraction. We really need to be aware of our number line, which I'll touch on just now, and then the multiplication I just touched on now. When these rules over here only apply when we are multiplying integers together. So what I mean is this, guys. If we have a negative, this is our sum in our test. If we have this in our test, negative 5 minus 5, or yeah, negative 5 minus 5. Can you see, guys, that you might have thought, okay, Mr. Hing said if there's a negative and a negative, it will result in a positive. But no, don't think that. That's only when we're multiplying. When you see minus 5, there's no multiplying here, guys. So what we need to do is we actually need to think about what? Our number line over here, okay? So if I am at negative 5 on my number line over here, all I need to do is follow the next sign. It says I must minus 5. So if I'm at minus 5 on the number line and it says minus 5, then from minus 5 I need to go back because minusing goes left. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can count also like this: minus 5, minus 6, minus 7, minus 8, minus 9, minus 10. And I land up at minus 10. Okay, guys. So that is what I was referring to when I'm trying to make sure that you don't get confused when you see minus and pluses, and then you think, minus plus must become minus. That is only when multiplying. If you see just a minus and say, for instance, that was positive, you just work along the number line. Okay, so why don't we put that into practice in a few questions? Okay, so guys, can you see automatically we have in brackets negative 3 and then another brackets minus 4. What does this brackets mean? It means timesing. So yes, you can apply that rule. So negative and a negative will form a positive. So negative 3 times negative 4 will be positive 12. But I'm just doing this for explanation purposes. In your test, you can just write 12. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Again, we have the time sign, so we can apply those rules. So negative 9 times 5 will equal negative 50, negative 45. Sorry about that. Negative 45. Okay, and then 5 plus. Now, guys, I just want to bring your attention here because in your test this could happen. When you see a plus, right, and then there's a bracket with another integer, that means this is timesing. But what you need to do, guys, is you need to picture an imaginary 1 over here. Okay, so if I had to ask you, guys, what is 1 times 2? It is 2. So what is positive 1 times negative 2? So again, you apply that rule where a positive, and a negative generates a negative. So, and remember, we need to do our brackets first. So it will be 5. Positive 1 times negative 2 will give me a negative 2. And that will equal 5 minus 2 is 3. And that is the final answer. Okay, let's have a look at D. So again, guys, what do we see here? Do we see any multiplication? No. Good, so we're just going to work along our number line. Are you with me? So I'll just draw a quick a number line here. So if 0 is here and there's 4, let's say 4 is over here. So if we're going 4 minus 10, we need to minus, we're going this way. So 4, if we had to minus 10, that would give us minus 6 plus 2 and minus 6. Now, if we had minus 6 and we are plusing 2, we would land up at minus 4. Okay, let's have a look at E. All right, so now guys, we have a bracket, so this means we are timesing. So when this happens, we first need to do this, okay? And that is where my rule applied over here, BODMAS. If there's brackets, please do that first. Okay, so let's do that together. So it's gonna, my negative 6 is still gonna stay there. Then positive 3 times negative 2 is going to become a negative 6. And now we can just follow the number line. If this was 0 and this was minus 6, if we had minus 6 already and we need to minus 6 again, we're going this way. So minus 6 minus 6 will equal minus 12. Okay, nice. Let's keep going. So F is going to be 6. And then what did I say here, guys? Please, you need to get this into a habit. Picture an imaginary positive 1 here. So if I had to do positive 1 times negative 1, what is going to end up happening? It's going to become 6 minus 1. A positive 1 times negative 1 will become negative 1. So 6 minus 1 is 5. Simple as that. And then lastly, guys, again, you should have told me in the video there's an imaginary 1 here, Mr. Hing. Why? Because there's a sign and then immediately there's a bracket. That means that there's an imaginary 1 here. Okay, so what does that mean? If we had to think of that, this 2 stays here. 2 minus 1 times minus 2 is positive 2. So then 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, guys, there we go. So that is our video for today. That is integers. I hope it's very helpful. If you have any questions regarding that, yeah, please post it in the comment section below. If it was helpful, like, share, subscribe. It's helpful to just distribute the content to other people who need the help. And yeah, so this was just a few basic fundamentals on integers, and I hope it helps.